Yo people, so today is the 1st of July 2025, and so just a little quick update before we get into the title of the video. So I've actually recently just booked the Airbnb for this summer, which means that's like kind of the first, there's no going, well there is going back, but so that's the first step to actually get into France. It is a little bit later than I would have liked. I would have liked to go on straight after tour, which would have been on the 28th of July, but it's kind of mid-August now. But I've got free cancellation, so if I find something sooner, then I can get that going. Or if I get a job straight away, then I can buy an actual apartment. Well, not buy it, rent an actual apartment on Airbnb, which is sound. Yeah, that's good news. It looks good. It's right in the little city around the port, right on the beach, and I've got bikes with it as well, so then I can get around, which is lush. So that's gonna be lush. Stay tuned for that. The YouTube videos coming out of that place is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be absolutely wild. It's gonna be insane. And then yeah, so the title of the video is sort of why I struggle to build brotherhood, or I have built brotherhood, but sort of why I struggle to connect with other people. And I think firstly, the first one is that like I sort of never got like the point of going out and partying and drinking and sort of doing that sort of stuff. So then I didn't really connect with people when people wanted to go out. They wanted to do that instead of doing other things. So I think in that way I was quite different. So yeah, even like with the people I knew, we'd go with birthday parties and they'd all be drinking, and I would just have one drink and just sort of be with them. But then I just didn't feel like I was sort of completely or wholly part of it, because I wasn't wholly part of it. I wasn't partaking in that way. I don't know, I just didn't get it. I thought you could just do everything without any drink, without any of the drugs, without any of that stuff. And like even when I was playing in Gloucester Academy, some high level boys, high level athletes and all this stuff, the head coach was telling them not to go out on a Friday night before our game on the weekend. The head coach was telling them to make sure they get enough sleep. And I'm thinking, most of them were better than me. Most of them were better rugby players than me. I'm thinking, if you can't get that right, then I don't know. For me, it just felt silly, them having to be told when they're in a high level academy. Some of them are now playing England rugby. Being in a high level academy, like, I don't know, I thought the standard would be higher. Obviously they play good rugby, but I thought the personal development would be way higher. So yeah, that's the first point. And secondly, I always think that when I talk to people, the type of things they talked about were never on the wavelength of the things that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about future. I wanted to talk about like what we were going to do by the time we were 22 or things like that. And they have, most of them either had low ambitions, or they hadn't even thought about it yet. And I think that's the biggest thing, was people didn't know, they had no clue, but also they haven't taken the time to think about it. Which means, yeah, it's fine, you don't need to know now, but like if you haven't taken the time to think about it, then you're never going to get to the point where you know. And I think, what's the point in having low ambitions when you can do anything? Like, if life is yours to create, then why would you sit down and not create it? I think you've got to have high ambitions. So yeah, that's the second one, is people either didn't know what they wanted to do because they haven't put in the time to think about it, or people just had low ambitions and just settled. And I think that for me, I just wanted to be around people who, one, had the standards. They didn't want to drink, they didn't want to party, they wanted to grow and develop. But also, two, they also had the vision that they wanted to get somewhere, and they knew what they wanted to get, and they thought about it. And even if their vision had changed, it had changed to become more ambitious, to become different, but in the aspect where it was more ambitious. So I think, I'm quite lucky to have one or two friends who are on that path, who are pushing hard. Some of them are pushing harder than me, doing better than me. So I think, yeah, even though my circle's small at the moment, I think that's better than having friends who aren't on the same wavelength. But yes, I mean, with this athlete retreat thing, I'm trying to push to get, mainly the target audience is me. Like, I wanted to meet new people. I want to meet new people and build connections with real people who are pushing hard. So I mean, for me, trying to run this athlete retreat, it's mainly for me. I want to build these connections and sort of get going with that. So I mean, having an athlete retreat where I can meet strangers and we can develop a connection and push each other, that's perfect. But yeah, so the two main reasons were the standards. Most people want to just party and drink. The second one was most people don't even know what they want because they haven't thought about it, or they got low ambitions. But you know, we're going for the win, so well, bam.